Hello there, this is RomWills coming back at you with yet another car video. Black men are second to none as far as getting women. And I know people probably say, oh man, why you playing that race card or something? Well, this is the reason. And it ain't something that anybody else said. This is specifically based on some stuff I've heard some black men say here and there on the internet. They putting like white men ahead of them. And I'm like, what? You know? Or they'll talk about, use some stuff on online dating, some stats there, which are bullshit. Like I said, it's mostly men on there anyway. But it'd be some men complaining. They'll say, well, they getting more women, or they feel like they ain't getting any play or something. And I'm like, man, where y'all live at? It's just like I said yesterday, where that thing about Chads are rare. And you know what was funny yesterday, right? Yeah, some guy saying, well, one guy was like, well, it's on the East Coast, not in San Diego, not on the West Coast. Man, I've been on the West Coast so much, shoot. Probably moved there at some point. I seen what's happening there. Whatever the case. Ain't no Chad worshipers here and shit. And then, that was the thing though. Because I was thinking about that, but then there have been some, I ain't gonna call the content creators out, but they'll say, oh, well, whites are number one, white men are number one. Please. If anything is equal, depending on where you living at, and shoot, some places it might not be as equal. Because shoot, even some guys complaining because they ain't getting women of other races or something like that. And shoot, I'll get into the Pooky and Ray Ray thing later on. But I'm like, man, that's some bullshit. Like, there was this one guy talking about Asian women and black men. And I should have saved that video. And I ain't comment on it. And it was like, well, if you're a black man to get Asian women, you either had to be racially mixed or very attractive. Well, I'm not racially mixed. And I don't consider myself super attractive. Never did. Even in my younger days. Yet I had 3 Asian girlfriends. Probably could have had more. And I was like looking at that, but that was just one example of some dude. I'm like, what the hell? And unfortunately, there are some brothers out there. They don't have that self-esteem that they need to really deal with women, or they in some environment where it's mostly white women, white men, white people or something, and they ain't giving them the play. And then those same brothers, quite frankly, they ain't in that select category. And I'm like, what the hell? Only speak for your motherfucking self if you having problems. Because I was just thinking about that. Like, and I'll use where I'm living now. And I'm just coming from the gym. And I knew a young lady who used to work at the gym. And what she told me blew my mind. Because she was talking about how all these young white girls. Now, keep in mind, we live in a red county. But yet all these white girls wanted to have a black baby. They were talking to her about that. And we ain't even going to get into the married white women that be chasing some brothers around here. And I mean, but then even across the country, even talking with different brothers across the country, because remember, I do be doing consultations. They be saying the same thing. I'm like, well, hold up. They ain't having any problems getting whoever. They ain't having any problems. And I'm like, well, hold up. But you had some men, they putting some other men above them. First of all, you don't do some shit like that. Yeah, fuck all that shit. Because when you out here in the real world, when you out here in the streets, that's all that really counts. What's happening in the real world. Like I said, I live in a red county, yet the number of black men that I see with white women is crazy. And then even the brothers who are dealing with multiple sisters. And remember I said I'll bring in that Pooky and Ray Ray thing, because you get some brothers complaining about, well, they all going, all the women go, all the black women going for Pooky and Ray Ray. Bullshit. The most they get, the most Pooky and Ray Ray get is, as a whole, they getting ratchet ass women. And I'm like, shit, Pooky and Ray Ray doing you a favor. I've said that in several videos. But, I was just like, hold up. If brothers are not on that hierarchy, or if some women talking about, well, yeah, white men on top. First of all, why you get so many women who want to have a black man's baby? Now, that's beyond a fetish. Now, if they just want to have sex, you could just say, okay, maybe it's a fetish. But a baby, shoot, that's some lifetime shit you walking around with. And you see a lot of that around here. And like I said, I've talked to some men across the country. Like, shoot, like even putting the West Coast. I remember there was a sister complaining about all the brothers out there dealing with white women. In fact, shoot, if brothers are on such a lower thing, or lower level, they wouldn't get them. It's just that simple. It's just that simple. And then even when you get some of these brothers complaining about Pooky and Ray Ray, all these women ain't going for some Pooky and Ray Ray. Shoot. Some of the biggest players I've known, they weren't no Pookies and Ray Rays. Shoot, they were some professional men. Some of them had dual degrees. They were doctors. Shoot, one of the biggest players I know of, I only met him once, but know of, doctor. Or you get some dudes who are attorneys and whatnot. Shoot. When I was in school at American University, some brothers who were in law school, they were getting it like crazy. But then, I was thinking about that some more. See, here's the problem with a lot of those brothers who thinking somebody else, some other race of man is above them. They ain't really in communities. Well, two things. One, they ain't in communities where they see enough brothers and see what's happening. Or two, some about them, they in those communities where they do have those Pookies and Ray Rays getting theirs. And I'm like, man, get off of that bullshit. First of all, every man, I don't care what his race is, what his nationality is, he good with the women of his own group. I don't care what it is. He good with them. There ain't no damn hierarchy or something like that. Like if somebody like a Chad, like I even said that's even a class thing with that Chad. You put some Chads, whether somebody want to argue whether they rare or not, you put them in like some trailer parks, they ain't getting none. They gotta have some tats or something like that. If anybody actually goes to like some of these like trailer parks or something, go around them or see guys there, they ain't up there. Because every man, because remember what I always talk about too. I always talk about men. I always talk about different groups, different social classes, different subcultures. Any man is really good within his subculture. any man, regardless of race, regardless of his education, whatever. He's good in his group. He'll have problems only when he try to go out his group. And one of the things is I have a problem with, and I have a problem with when you get these men, they basically, these brothers, they basically talking about their own experiences, and they think it's everybody's experiences. And I would tell them to travel, whether they talking about some white guys getting it all, or being at the top, or Pooky and Ray Ray being at the top. I'm like, man, y'all need to get out more. Y'all need to get out more. Because trust me, because when there's some black men, and I'm really concentrating on the black men complaining. The black men who might be not getting this, thinking some white guys on top on one hand, or Pooky and Ray Ray on top on another hand. Those men they non-select, and they need to work on some shit. They need to work on some shit. Because like I said, I had a lady friend who worked at a gym, and these white girls were telling her straight up they wanted a black baby. So hold up, wait a minute. Why would they be going to this black woman asking her, or even telling her some stuff like that? That's some bullshit. Come on, man. Come on. But see, these guys ain't in a position where they really see everything going on. Or they complaining about Pooky and Ray Ray. Only women who are going to mess with, as a whole, going to mess with Pooky and Ray Ray, either women on that level, or even if you see a so-called professional woman messing with Pooky and Ray Ray, like I always say, ask her where she from. Ask her where she from. I can guarantee, and I'm going to use the word guarantee, she from the hood. Every now and then, I'm going to say in most cases, like I say, there's always an art and not a science. You might hear a case here and there of some woman from some upper class dealing with that type of guy. Every now and then, though. That's the important thing. Every now and then. You got to really think about that. Because I was just thinking about that the other day. I was just thinking about that. In fact, yesterday, really. I'm doing so many videos. You got to think about that. But, it really... I don't know if it saddens me, pisses me off. I don't know what. I'm going to use the word irk. It irks me when I see some brothers complaining and stuff. I'm like, where you at? What you dealing with? Because I know brothers across the country, they getting theirs and they ain't no thugs or whatever. Shit. Pooky and Ray Ray really don't be buying my shit anyway. They don't be listening. And some guys supposedly, they be, like I said, they be getting they be having multiple white women and stuff. In fact, I've known some brothers, shoot, that's all they were dealing with. That's all they were dealing with. And then the ones who just dealt with just sisters, they were still getting some play. But see, you got too many brothers out here. That's one thing. Now, normally when I talk, I mean, it's for everybody. But, this particular video, I wanted to address just the brothers, just the black men, because I'm like, what you complaining about? Brothers ain't having no trouble. Now, if you having some trouble, you an individual, you got to look at yourself. You can't look at a group and say, oh, they don't want brothers. Please. You got white women out here wanting to have like a brother's baby. Shit, that's some serious shit right there. or thinking they going for some thugs or something. But see, when you get those guys doing something, a lot of them be on some Oreo shit for real. I'm just gonna be real with you. I don't give a fuck you get mad. If you don't get mad, hey, you don't have to follow me anymore. I'm just being real. On some Oreo shit, they don't really see the game or what's really going on. And they might not have what it takes. Because you still, I mean, look, I be telling you, you still gotta have some game. I don't care what color the woman is. You still gotta be talking to her. She's still gonna respond to you. Shit. I don't care. You gotta have something. Shit, too many black men out here be getting theirs regardless of the race. And nah, they ain't no thugs or whatever. They ain't no thugs. Like I said, they got shit going on for them. But like I said, you got a lot of guys complaining, and I'm like, for what? Shoot, in fact, I remember when I was selling my book, I was at this expo. I'll never forget what a white man said to me. A white man said, he said, well, you're a black man. I get women. I'm like, oh, man. That was a white man. He looked me dead in the eye and said that. He said, y'all ain't having no problems. Oh, man. But that's different from what, I ain't gonna call out any content creators' names or what they're saying. But that's what they're saying. You know, they like, well, yeah, they pumping the white guy's head up, and I'm like, even the white guys shouldn't even listen to some bullshit like that. I would tell the white guys, hey, look, still work on yourself. Get your game together. Don't worry about all. Don't get caught up in that thinking, oh, like, because you got some whites to say, oh, just be white. Yeah, okay. I'll think about that next time I see some attractive white girl walking around with a brown baby. I'll think about that next time. Or some grandparents walking around with their brown grandbabies. Come on now. Oh man, look, we just gotta get in the real world with some shit. We gotta get in the real world. And I'm gonna tell you what, it ain't as raw as I could have brought it. It ain't as raw as I could have brought it. Kind of chilled out with it. If I did it yesterday because I thought about it, boom. If I start doing videos whenever I think about it, yeah, I think car rom is raw now. Car rom like hurt some feelings, and I know I hurt feelings anyway. I don't give a fuck. Like I said, I deal with reality. No black man should worry about it. Now, if he having some trouble with the sisters or something, okay, there's a world full of women, 4 billion women. Shoot, black women from other cultures and stuff. If that's what you gotta do, ain't nothing wrong with it. Shoot, I've dealt with a lot of women from Trinidad. Shoot, I still think they got a dick sucking factory down there. Oh man. Or the islands or something like that. Do what you gotta do. Whatever. Let's be real with it. Brother, go any place on the planet. If he got his shit together, he do gotta have his shit together. They ain't gonna just get with him. You still gotta do your body game. You still gotta be able to have that conversation. You still gotta have the basics. I don't care where you go on the planet. In fact, I've talked with consultation clients all over the planet, literally, and it's the same thing. There's some cultural nuances, but if a man fix himself up, he got his shit together, he can have a good conversation, he can get women. I don't give a shit where he from. I don't give a shit where he from. And you got some men out there, specifically some black men out there. They can get women of their own group or women of other races. And then, remember I had mentioned something about Pooky and Ray Ray. I'm going to tell you what. If you worried about anybody, you got some bigger issues. Because there's always going to be somebody who's going to get something. You don't worry about anybody. You don't worry about Chad. You don't worry about Pookie, Ray Ray. If you're another race, you don't worry about Enrique. You don't worry about Bubba. Whatever the case. You don't worry about it. You just go and do your thing. And then find your tribe. I don't give a shit what it is. You don't worry about it. You find whatever women are down for you. Every single man, I don't care what his racial background is, religious background, ethnic, whatever subculture, he can find somebody. I don't care who it is. I don't care who it is. He can find somebody. I don't care. And he got to think in that way. And he can't be like thinking, oh, this woman won't get with this woman. Man, never think that. I don't care what your race is. Don't never think that. Never think that. If that woman going to say no, let her say no. Let her say no. Let her reject you. You don't go into it thinking whatever. That's one thing too. That's a whole other video. Always got to say, yeah, that's another video. But seriously, any man got to think, regardless of who he is, what's going on, that he can do whatever. He can get his. Alright? Yeah. So, a little bit calmer than what I probably would have did yesterday. I know some people probably be like, hey, Ron, we want you to get off. But, man, don't even think like that. Man, you gotta be more educated than that, man. Shit, don't worry about it. Don't look for entertainment. I'm sharing knowledge. My whole thing is helping some men do what they can do, get what they can get. Wait a minute. Gotta turn this off. Always gotta make sure this air conditioning off. But anyway, though, you're a black man out here, man, don't be putting nobody ahead of you. Alright? Don't be putting nobody ahead of you. Don't be looking down like somebody. Don't look at another man like they better. All you do is fix yourself up. Fix yourself up. Alright? And then see where your tribe is. And if you got to travel for your tribe, hey, it is what it is. But see what your tribe is, okay? So anyway, that's all I got for today. And I don't do anything on, car videos on weekends. I need y'all to check out my Sovereign Man video tomorrow. And then, I do my inspirational stuff on Sunday. All right? So anyway, y'all have a good day and stuff. And I'll talk to y'all. Peace.